Now, I told you, it is, I don't know why, I don't even try to figure it out, but join me here, and then that way, Joel, I can bring you in, and we can go ahead and get this done. I don't know why, I don't even try to figure it out. I just have to work with the circumstances I am given. Again, my name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug, and tonight, I am bringing to you the topic of bartering and things. So the bartering piece is about my friend who told me about a bartering organization that he belongs to. And he's going to come on and tell us about, there he is. Yay. I get to bring you in. Yes. Go, 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 go. It's not letting me add him. Why is that? I don't understand. It's not one thing, it's another. But I can add Xenia, but I can't add you, Joel. So Joel, you'll have to, if you haven't already liked the page, you have to like the page in order for me to be able to bring you in. I don't know why Facebook does that, but it is what it is. So if you haven't liked the page, Joel, then please like the page, and then it will tell me I can add you. Because it tells me I can add Xenia. So that's the only thing I think is missing. So anyway, he's here. I'm here. You're here. And so we're going to talk about bartering as soon as I can get him in. As soon as I can get him in. So let's see. We're still waiting. Or you can send me a request. It says allow your viewers to request to join you as a guest in your broadcast. Okay. So at the bottom of the live, there should be a button with two people on it. If you'll click that, then it will allow me to bring you in. So yeah, because I see it on my side. I just didn't see it on my laptop. So now I'm on my phone, and my phone it usually acts pretty good. But I am so excited about this. Why is this doing this? I don't know. This is my life. Yes, so it should be. So Xenia, I know you see one because it told me I can add you, but it didn't give me one for Joel. So I don't know what that's about. If you sent me one, Xenia, if you will cancel yours, then maybe it'll let him send me. If you didn't, then I don't know what's going on. But but in any case, this is technology and Linda. We are not in agreement. I used to be so good at this. But here lately, honey, it's anybody's guess. I don't even know. It still has Xenia. It has an ad for you, but it doesn't have one for Joel. So if you send me a request, I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. I'm still trying to figure it out. Because I so want this to happen, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Oh, you're not seeing it? You're on your laptop. Because I didn't see it on my laptop. So if you can go to your phone, go to your phone and see if you see it. And I don't know why it does that. I told you, this is Linda's 101. Things that happen that are not normal, they happen around about here. So if you can sign off your laptop and then go to your phone and see if that's if he has an iPhone, he will not see it. I have an iPhone. But it wouldn't show on my laptop. I didn't get the menu on my laptop, but on my iPhone it's there. I'm looking at it. So I don't know. The technology guys that do. Okay, thanks, Joel. Thanks. We're gonna get this right. We're gonna get this right one way or another, Lord. It's like that every time I try to bring information to people, technology the technology demons come up against me. Yeah, it's Xenia, honey. It's not easily explained, but it's very regular in my life when I'm trying to encourage people and empower people. It is a very regular thing for things to not go well. But the thing about that is this. It may not go well in the beginning, like it starts off real bumpy, but then after that, then people get what they want. So, I just flow with it. So flow with me while I flow with it, because it will get better. I promise you. So those of you who are watching on Facebook who, like I said, if you have anybody who's in business in your circle, if you have anybody at all, then you will want to help them by tuning in. I'm trying to open my laptop back up, but you will want to help enlighten them by sharing, right? By sharing this video, because when he comes on, when we finally get it right, when we finally get it right, it's going to be something to see. And it's going to help your friends and everyone else. And I'm trying to line this up. It's going to help your friends and everyone else who don't know about bartering, because it is a good thing, you know? And I didn't know how much, I didn't know there was a community. He's going to tell you all this good stuff about bartering. And he is the professional in this. So I stay in my lane. I tell you how to start your business. That's what I do. And then he tells you things. There you go. There you go. Ta-da! Now we're here. Approved. They can line it up. It's added him. So you're like, ta-da!
Finally.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Always something like that.
It's just craziness. It's just technology and me lately. We have been, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even try to understand it. I just keep going, try to work around it. I am the queen of workarounds. So, good evening, everyone. This is Joel Atkins, and I told you that he's going to tell us tonight about bartering. So, if you have a small business person in your network, if you know any businesses at all that do business, then share this in Messenger to them or post it on your feed so that they can see it. Because if you have any friends in business at all, you're going to want them to be in the house for this one. This is the one that's going to help them understand how they can add revenue to their business simply by using an old custom thing like bartering, right? So I'm trying to make sure I'm lined up. So Joel, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them about you.
Hey, Linda, can you hear me okay?
I can hear
you. Okay,
you.
good. Greetings all. I am Joel Atkins. I am the owner of Bottom Line Barter Chattanooga. I've been bartering for about 4.5 years in this manner. Like Linda said, bartering is the oldest form of currency. It goes back probably hundreds of thousands of years, back till, where farmers used to barter chickens for cows or grain and wheat. So I fell into it about 5 years ago. First off as a member, then I moved up here from Chattanooga, or from Gadsden, Alabama, up to Chattanooga about 3 years ago now. I decided to bring it with me because there's a couple other platforms here in town, but they didn't do it the way that I'm used to, in a way that I know how to maximize the bartering.
Okay. So explain, because I have people, these are my major population consists of starters, people who are just getting into business. So they may not be able to take advantage of it all the way down, but this is going to be a tool that they'll be able to use as they get themselves formulated. And then I do have some existing businesses who are already in business and have been in business for several years. So this is going to help them too. So I want you to tell them first, help them to understand how bartering works.
Well, it's fairly simple. A lot of, especially the new business owners, they have more time than money. The mechanic will have extra shop time, but not enough money to pay an accountant or a logo designer or a website designer. So what we do is we barter extra time, extra inventory into items that offset cost of doing business. Does that kind of make sense?
It does. So basically, it's trading service for service.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, of equal or more value.
Right. Well, the cool thing is,
and the value is not based on dollar for dollar, right? It's based on the need.
It's
based on dollar for dollar.
Yes, ma'am. So
okay, so explain that.
So what happens? I also have a printing company. Let's use that as an example. One of my favorite examples I like to use is if a plumber comes to me and wants to barter business cards. Mr. Plumber comes to me and goes, hey, I need to fix your toilet. I need a set of business cards. First off, I don't need a plumber at the moment because I live in an apartment complex and plumbing and all the maintenance is taken care of. So there's no way for us to barter at all. So what happens by using a platform such as Bottom Line Barter, we're allowed to to create our own currency by doing what we do. So as a printer, I create my own balance by printing business cards. The plumber creates his balance by plumbing. Mechanic fixes cars. The landscaper landscapes. So whatever you do, whatever items that you sell, we leverage that margin into bartering. So let's use that example now. The plumber comes to me and goes, hey, I need business cards. So he'll transfer X amount of dollars from his account to mine. Then I can use that money anywhere else in the network. So it doesn't matter if I need a plumber. It doesn't matter if I want to go on vacation, if I need an accountant, it doesn't matter what the need is. So we can utilize that to fulfill that need instead of paying cash for it.
Okay. So this a membership? Explain how this works. So like because you have a whole network.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, but great, Lakeisha. So you have a fan on here. Somebody knows you. She said,
hey, Lakeisha, how's it going?
But yeah, so explain how the membership and all works.
Sure, my members like Lakeisha. Lakeisha owns a restaurant up near the mall, and my members I work with. In other words, I am their personal buyer and personal seller at this point. We came up with a game plan on to utilize extra inventory to get what she needs. Lakeisha, we have a lot of stuff going on. She got a photo shoot done a few months ago. We're working on new printing stuff. But instead of her paying me cash for the printing, she opens up her sandwiches and her catering to the network. So it is a close community of business owners. So it is membership based because I need to be the gatekeeper, not to let the riffraff in.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was going to be my next question. What controls do you have in order to ensure that it turns out to be a great business experience for everyone that's in your network?
Exactly. There is a membership process. I'm not quick to refuse membership, but I'm not afraid to either.
All right. I understand
if a person is not a good fit for us, or we're not a good fit for that business, we'll move forward or suspend it until they're a good fit. It might be that they're too busy for us, but they want to be a partner, and it's just not like a perfect time. Or it might be that they're too small and they can't handle the quantity that I'm going to throw at them.
Those are good problems to have.
Absolutely. I mean, so we look at it on a case-by-case basis. Membership typically starts with a cup of coffee between me and the person. We discuss what their goals are, what they want to get out of it, what can they give us. Then we go back and figure out if the barter network needs what they are offering. You know, if it's an obscure underwater basket weaver, we might not need that service spot yet.
Right.
So, but
I
keep them on the fringe and keep them in my CRM. If anybody ever needs that one service, I make a phone call.
Right.
So we're a small community, yet we have a large reach as well.
Yes.
So you was asking about to making sure everything works well. That's my job. I'm holding people's hands. I'm actually getting in and making sure that works. And if I see an issue, I'm there on the front. If I don't see somebody spending money, if I see a balance accruing, I'm there to make sure that, hey, are you okay? What do you need? Whatever. Like Lakeisha says, my cell phone is hardly ever off.
That's what she said. She said that's good. That's a good thing to have a client who's already in the program telling us about her experience.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said she owns a sandwich shop. So she owns a sandwich shop. So tell me. So I'm a business person.
Sure.
That's what I do. So use me as an example of how this would benefit me.
Okay. So you do a whole lot of business consulting. So you have a spot for, say, 3 more businesses that you can consult with. You have the capacity to do that. So we take up one of those slots. That way, when you travel, I have a baby crying in the background. I'm not sure if you can hear that.
I don't know. We've heard the baby. That means growth, and I love
It is
babies.
what it is. But we take that commodity, which is one of three businesses that you can coach, and we're going to assign that to barter. You get full retail value of that. Dollar per
Okay.
dollar, no buddy deals, no discounts, no coupons, Groupons. If you charge X amount of dollars an hour, that's what we're going to give you in trade. Now,
Okay. So in the case that like I do also do event planning, right?
mm-hmm.
And so I have events, I have classes and sessions that I
Yes,
do.
ma'am.
So you can help me fill my seats.
Exactly. So now let's talk about the other thing. We kind of discussed how we can get you money. Let's figure out how we can spend you money. So, okay. Your events that you do. Do you have a caterer? Do you serve food sometimes?
Sometimes I do, yeah.
That's easy then. You take that money that we put what I call a rear end in the seat for those events that you didn't sell, and convert that into your catering. Or cut that into your digital marketing or your promo work, or even if you need to go to Nashville or wherever else. We have sister companies all over the nation that we barter with. So,
okay, that's good to know, because right now I have my niece who lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Des. I saw you like the thing. So in doing that, so if she's in Milwaukee, so you say a national network, right? Mm-hmm. So are you in the major cities, or what does that look like?
It just depends on when there's another market for bartering. So it's like a 3-level network. Level 1 is going to be with us. So it's the network that you belong to. So like Lakeisha is a member of Bottom Line Barter Chattanooga. Yes. Level 2 is the Bottom Line Barter family, which we reach in Northeast Alabama, Huntsville, and we're about to expand again. Then you go to the 3rd level, is where we reach out to our business partners. Nashville, Atlanta, Charlotte, Tri-Cities, New Orleans. I mean, that's just people I deal with personally. Yes. The story I like to tell here, I'm a storyteller. When I explain something, I always like to throw a story behind it. A year ago, first day of baseball, I was in Boston. I'm a big baseball fan. When we went to Fenway, we landed in Boston. Before we went to hotel room, I went to the local barter office and already had $350 worth of food vouchers sitting there waiting for me. Then took another $15 Uber ride back to the hotel and took a nap because it was early in the morning. But for that 3-day period, I ate like a king on $350.
Absolutely,
but
you did.
By parlaying my margin back into that $350 really only cost me around $75. Like I said, that's a rough estimate because my margin fluctuates. But if you have extra inventory, like your seats that didn't get filled, or a hotel, or an Airbnb that's not full, or even a mechanic because they trade labor, you parlay that, and that food really costs you next to nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're getting ready, so when you have those needs, because we all have vehicles, right? We all have vehicles that and most people don't have a steady mechanic that they can rely on. So they're looking for someone who's reliable, because you've already done the vetting. So they're looking for somebody who's reliable, who can perform whatever service it is that they need.
Absolutely.
And then I love that you said that they have to be able, the businesses that participate in this, they must be able to be able to absorb the capacity.
Exactly.
So that means, like, you can't keep me waiting for 3 or 4 days to fix my car. If I need your help, then you're going to move me in the line too, so I can get my services and get gone.
Right. Cash is always king.
That's a wonderful thing.
The cash is always king. But
absolutely.
But barter is a secondary source of income to offset cost and directly affect your bottom line of doing business.
Absolutely. That's great. That's great. So do any of you guys that are on here, you have any questions for Joel? Like, go ahead and key your questions in, and we'll get him to respond to your questions. When you're talking about bartering, like this is not a new way of currency. Bartering's been around for, I can remember being a child and seeing bartering in the cowboy days, right? Of how people exchange services instead of money. Because the new currency, just in case my listeners, my followers don't understand, the new currency is relationships and networks. That's the new currency. Money, because once you spend money, it's gone. But the relationships that are out there, that's what keeps coming back. And if you're a business owner, you need to understand about how strong networks are, how strong something like this bartering network is like paramount. So let me ask you, is there an application
Yes,
process?
ma'am. Again, the first step is having a cup of coffee. I like to get to know people. I like to make sure that it's going to work. If I don't get along with somebody, if it's not a good fit, it does us no good to continue forward. But
Right.
there is an application process and a couple of hoops to jump through. But other than that,
Right.
it is pretty well straightforward.
Absolutely, because you want to maintain a certain
Yes,
integrity
ma'am.
in your network. So I get that totally, because I have an LSMB Business Solutions network that used to be online, but I had to take it offline because I want to make certain that the people who I refer my people to are trustworthy. And I've had a couple of cases where people didn't live up to their part of the bargain. Like when I refer somebody, I want them to do that person like they would have done me. And hopefully they wouldn't have cheated me, or hopefully they wouldn't have not paid me, right?
Exactly.
And so when you put somebody in a network like that, you have to make sure that you maintain the integrity. So I love it. Like, again, I love the controls. I love that you actually talk one-on-one with the actual person, and that you background check and make sure everything checks out, because I can understand from my own experience how important it is to maintain the integrity of your network.
Exactly. I mean, that's something when a member comes on, they're not only a member of Online Barter, they're a buddy of mine at this point. They're my responsibility to
Absolutely.
make
Absolutely.
sure that they're making money. Either
Yes.
making money by paying for their advertising cost or saving money by offsetting a cost of doing business. Uh, you know,
Yes,
so
absolutely.
it's my goal at that point to drive cash either way.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
a
Absolutely.
couple of the
And that's going to help the cash flow of these businesses, right?
yes, ma'am.
Because even though it's virtual currency, it's still currency.
According to that,
It's still currency.
one of the most frequently questions I get: what kind of tax implications is there? At the end of the year, you get a 1099 Schedule B with any
Okay.
balance that you have left. So
Okay.
IRS understands it's a one-to-one exchange. So if you have X
Uh-huh.
amount of thousands of dollars in barter left, they show it as a net income of X amount of dollars. But
Right, because you haven't spent that
exactly, we try to
dollars to
get it as
dollars.
close to
Yeah, that makes
we try
sense.
to get it as close to the bottom as possible. However, the cool thing
Right. Right.
is, I do have right now two nonprofits on trade. At the end of the year, you can donate the barter back to a nonprofit. At that point, it is
Ah,
going to be uh, a tax write-off. Hey, Lori, how's it going?
absolutely. That sounds pretty good, because at the end of the year, if you haven't spent it, you can donate it to a charity and it becomes a write-off. So it's still a
Right.
plus.
Now I have to be on my A game. Miss Sosa, that just joined us, is one of my barter partners in Atlanta. So,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So yeah, so this has been very educational, because people don't think about bartering anymore.
no, man.
Everybody is stuck on the cash deal.
Mhm.
And I wanted to bring this because I wanted people to understand the difference in bartering, and that bartering works. I mean, like I said, especially for small businesses, startups, because you don't have a lot of money.
Exactly.
So it makes sense that you would join a membership like this, invest that money in this membership, and then watch it grow that way while you get the printing you need, or you said that she had a photo shoot. You get the photo shoots you need. You get the things that you need in order to grow your business, and also you're also helping another fellow business owner grow their business as
Exactly.
well.
The three major things to barter is food, because we all like to eat, advertising because it makes us money, And the third thing would be to offset a cost.
Offset a
So, I
cost.
mean,
Absolutely. That's the one that attracts me.
absolutely. Yeah, there.
Because I'm not into, well, I do advertise, and I try to bring people along with me for that. But actually offsetting the cost,
Yes, ma'am.
that's good stuff.
So,
I mean, that really is. So yeah. So what final thing do you want to say to my people? The ones who, if you're watching this in the replay, please put hashtag replay so that I know. If you have any questions, then please post your question. And even if you're watching the replay and you have questions, then go ahead and post your questions here, because Joel will have access to this video afterwards, and that way he can respond to your questions directly. So I just wanted to make certain that we get everything covered and that we cover all the questions that the people who watch this will have.
absolutely. I mean, again, you can reach me. The Facebook page is Bottom Line Barter Chattanooga. That comes directly to me. Or you can give me a call, 256-458-3584. If you have any questions or just want to find out a little bit more about what we're doing, the network we're building, and how we're really impacting the small business community, not only in Chattanooga, but in pretty much the entire Southeast with utilizing our partnerships.
Absolutely. And building networks,
Absolutely.
right? Networks are better than cash. I say that all the time. Networks are definitely better than cash. Well, again, we appreciate you being here with us. And so you have a great rest of your Sunday. And thank you so much for joining
All right.
us.
Thank you, Linda. Have a good one.
You as well.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye. So that was good information, right? And that's what I want to bring to this. So the mixer, let me see if I can make sure I take him out. Great. The mixer is going to be about things like that, like bartering. Like, that's good information, right? It's going to help you to save money and to actually make money doing bartering. So I thought, I have to have you on to tell us how the bartering works. So you can contact him at Joel at bartering bottom line bartering. Yeah, bottom line bartering, BLB, bottomlinebartering.com. That's where you can contact him. So, and I want to also tell you, so I sent out an email earlier last week about what is your biggest challenge? Because I want to know what's your biggest challenge? What are you dealing with that is blocking you, that you feel like, there he goes. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. He actually put his email address right there. So you can actually get him, blbchat.com. That's where you can get him. So yeah, so I'd be wondering, what is the biggest challenge that my small business owners, existing and startups, are facing? And so there were 5 things that were given to me as problems that you're incurring as a small business, right? And so let's talk about those for a few minutes. I want to make certain that you are able to move past those things. The number one thing people said was, who can put it in the comments? Tell me what do you think the number one thing that I sent this out to like 700 people, and the number one, the feedback that I got back said the number one thing, it came again and again and again and again. What do you think it was? If you think you know what that was, go ahead and type it down below in the comments so we can see it. What do you think it was that most business owners run into that's holding them back, right? Because these are the top 5 things that business owners say is holding them back. Tonight, I'm going to talk about one of them, but there are 5 of them. So over the next few weeks, I'll be sharing what each of the other ones are as well. In addition to that, I will also have my guests on. So on the 27th of July, I have if you are an inventor, if you know an inventor, you want to tell them to come and join me on the 27th of July, because I'm going to have Bill and Sonia Massey on. Bill and Sonia Massey made the bathroom kit, the restroom kit. I said it wrong, the restroom kit. And what they do, if you travel, like if you ever been to a traveling on the road and you get to a bathroom, there's no tissue, there's no soap, there's no way to clean yourself. properly. Well, they have created the restroom kit that has everything you need to use the bathroom in foreign places, in places other than your home. So they're going to be on talking about that. How I first saw them is they were on the Thunderdome with Steve Harvey, and they won. They won $10,000 from the Thunderdome from Steve Harvey. So they're going to join me on the 27th of July. And then on the 20th of July, the week before they come, my girl Maria Stanfield is going to be on. She's going to talk to you who all are in a job that you may consider to be medial, right? So she's going to talk about from the front desk to the corner office. And it's her lifestyle. I mean, it's her true life story of how she used to be a receptionist, and now she's an employer. She's employing people. She works at the prestigious Pillsbury law firm in Washington, D.C. And she's going to talk about how she's been there these number of years, but that she started out as a receptionist, and then she went to be in the corner office now hiring people. So she's going to talk about that. Also, she has a push party coming up August the 3rd, and yours truly will be in D.C. speaking on her behalf. So let's talk about the first thing. None of y'all put what y'all thought it was. So what do you think it is that people who are in business, what do you think the number one thing is that people in business let keep them from getting to their greatness? What do you think that is? And I heard it over and over and over and over and over again. This very one thing, this one thing. Nobody's going to jump in. So the one thing, and if you catch this on the replay, you said finances, Lakeisha. Okay, so finances did make the list. It wasn't number one, but it did make the list. Absolutely, it did make the top 5. So yeah. In fact, they said lack of funding, lack of finances. So yeah, that did make the list. It was in the top 5. What do you think the number one was? Anybody takers? I love Lakeisha jumped in there. You go, girl. I like that. Okay, so we've waited long enough. The number one thing that people say keep them, you nailed it, Danielle, you nailed it. That is it. That's the number one thing that people say keeps them stagnant in regards to their business. And it's the fear of failure. Fear. Oh, market. No, it's fear. It's fear. But marketing, let's see. I can't remember if marketing made the list or not. Legislation. I heard you. Okay. It was fear. Fear is the number one thing. And so when I think of fear, I think of false evidence appearing as real. That's what I think fear is. It's an acronym to me. False evidence appearing, right? False evidence appearing real. It's not real. Most times when we fear things, it doesn't happen as badly as we think it is, but because we're in new territory for some of us. Anytime you're in new territory, there's that air of uncertainty. And so I went and said, how can I help them? I want to give you 5 strategies. 5 strategies on how, 5 proven strategies, not just anything. I want to give you 5 proven strategies of how you can push past fear. The number one thing that business owners in my community say is holding them back. So here's the 5 strategies. And each week I will be dealing with one. So here's the list, just in case you want to know what the list is. Okay. So the list is fear, number 1, procrastination, finding customers, which I think will go under that marketing. That marketing will fit there. Staying afloat, like time management. And number 5 was lack of funds needed. So beginning this week, I'm going to address all 5 of them. I'm going to give you strategies and solutions that's going to help you push past these things, because I want your business to excel, right? And so every Sunday here at 7, I'm going to have you a guest on. If I don't have a guest on, we're going to be talking about one of those 5 things every week for the next 5 weeks. I'm going to make sure that you knock off the fear, that you knock off the procrastination, that you knock off finding your customers, teach you about that marketing thing. I want to teach you about staying afloat and about how to find funding you need, because there are answers to each and every one of those things, right? But the number one thing is what we're going to talk about tonight. The number one thing is fear. And I want to give you, like I said, it's fear is false evidence appearing as real. First of all, it never, if you think back, and it's going to be important that you think back at a time when you were fearful, right? And think back, has it ever been as bad as you thought it was? Like, as bad as it got, has it ever been as bad as you thought it was in your mind? Most of you will probably say no. It did get bad for some of us, but not to the point of where we thought it would be. It got bad, but not as bad as we anticipated. So here are how to conquer fear, the fear of failure. 5 strategies, right? Number 1, reframe your goals. By reframing your goals, when you're talking about fear, so let's talk about your business. So your business, in your business, you may say, okay, I want to earn at least $100,000. I need $100,000 in my business, right? And when we look at, okay, we have a new product we're launching and we want to earn $100,000. Okay, so the fear for us is our target is $100,000. And if we don't get that target, then we think we failed. But we may not have failed, right? It may not be failure, because maybe our target is wrong. Because even when you're going, I don't care what you're doing as a small business owner, when you're in movement, when you're in action, you're learning stuff. And so we look at dollars. We have to get away from that. That's why I had this bartering thing, right? We just learned that money is not the only thing that's currency. The currency is networks. The currency can be bartering. The currency can be the network of people, which is better than cash. So you have to think about, if I set my goal to be a monetary goal, that goal may consist of a lot of things, because if you're moving forward, you are actually learning some things of value that's going to help you down the road. You're actually learning things about your business that you may not have known. So I want you to reframe how you think about your goals, to think about the learning experience, because they have value too. How much value does it take you to learn how to get $100,000? How much value would it take you to understand how to properly market your business? See, reframing our goals so that they are achievable, reframing our goals so that when we're going through the experience, we're giving credit for where credit. I met with a client tonight, and we talked about where she is, and she has ordered her business cards, right? I think business cards are your song on the radio cool. I think they are just cool. When you're a new startup and you're trying to get started and you haven't figured it all out yet, but then you decide, okay, I know what a logo is. I want to make my business cards so I can start putting my name out there. That is huge. That is huge. And so in her case, we celebrated her ordering business cards. That is a big move. But we don't, as business owners, we don't give everything that we do credit. And that probably plays into the fear, the part of fear that we have, right? So reframe the goal. My goal is to learn as much as I can on my journey to get $100,000. That's my goal. My goal is to learn something new. How can I learn something new that's going to help me build my business? It's not a loss. It's not a failure, because you're going to have to learn something if you move forward. That's how it goes. So reframe how you set your goals. And then let me ask you something. If you are fearful of an outcome, I want you to think about, how bad could it get? Sounds weird, doesn't it? But tonight we did some reframing, and I asked her to think about, how bad can it get? Like, what is the worst thing that could happen with your business idea if you just got started? What is the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is if it's a failure, it becomes a failure. And you lose whatever money that you put into it, right? Hopefully you didn't quit your job. Hopefully you didn't think of not having another income stream and that being your all in all, because I talk against that all the time. I want you to have a business, but I want you to be prudent in making your decisions, right? So what if you fail? How bad does that look? Is it going to, nobody will die, businesses fail every day. In Chattanooga, where I am, 50 to 90% of businesses fail. But the experience you have in starting a business makes you better than where you were before you started. Because if nothing else, you gain a lesson. You get a lesson. That's value. That's able to teach somebody else, oh, don't do this because when I did this, this was the result. You become an expert at that thing. You are actually adding to your value by actually starting the business. So I want you to visualize what are the obstacles that will get in front of you in this business idea or this next move. What are the obstacles? I want you to visualize what those are, and I want you to see yourself jumping over them, like creating plans. Okay, so if this happens, then I'm going to do that. And if this happened, then I'm going to do that. If you can actually say, okay, I may not have enough money. The children may get sick. I may have run into some costs that I didn't explain. The water heater could break. I mean, anything could happen because life doesn't stop because you run a business, because you run a business. Everything that's happening in your regular life will continue to happen in your business life. It just does. So you have to think about what is the worst thing that can happen, and then you have to put in plans to mitigate the impact of that situation. Because you can do that because you're smart. How I know you're smart? Because you want to operate a business. You're smart. You're real smart. Because you're creating multiple streams of income for you and your family. That's how I know you're smart. So think of the worst thing that can happen. And then think about how you'll mitigate the impact of that. Think of the best thing that it can happen. And think about how you'll celebrate that and use that to build your business. Then think of two things that can happen in between those two extremes. And think about how you'll deal with those things. See, planning is the number one thing in business that people just don't do. They don't plan. So yeah. So think about that. The next strategy is uncover your story. So in you, we all have a story, right? We all have a story. And your story, just like everybody else's, before I ask you to visualize the worst thing that could happen, but visualize in your life when something was very, very, very negative. Like something went crazy wrong. And how did you come out of that? Because evidently you came out of it, you're here. So you made it through whatever that was, you made it through that. And if your business should fail, you'll make it through that again. Sometimes we forget our distant pains and accomplishments that we made, and we think, wow, this is going to take me out. But that's because it's current. But if you look back at your history and the things that you've done, how many things have you overcame to get to right here? Like how many things? I'm sure there are a number of things that you have overcame to be right here today. And if you stop and think about it and uncover your story, uncover how you felt fearful before and it didn't turn out the way you thought it did. It didn't turn out the way you thought it would. You anticipated it was going to be life-changing. And the impact was never as much as we think. Because sometimes our brain, we overemphasize stuff. Then I want you to ask yourself 3 powerful questions. 3 powerful questions. Question number 1, what did I learn from that situation that I just thought about? Like, what did you learn from the toughest situations you've been in your life? What did you learn? And then how have you used those things to make your life better? How have you used those things? Like, what did you learn, and have you applied what you learned in your life? And then number 3, what are the 3 positive things, right? What are the three positive things, even in that situation as bad as it was? What are the 3 positive things that came out of that situation? Because we have to force our mind to think about things that we take for granted. So think about, number 1, what did I learn? Number 2, how can I use that to make it better for me this time? And number 3, what is it, the 3 positive things that you have learned from that situation, that positive, that you can use going forward? And the final thing is surrender and feel the fear. Feel the fear. It's an emotion. And most times it's temporary, right? Most times it paralyzes us because we don't like to feel the fear. We run away from the fear. We're like, no, not doing that. Nope, not a risk taker. Nope. I'm going to stay safe in my comfort zone. But I'm here to tell you that your success to your next big thing is right outside of your comfort zone. You have to learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable sometimes. Like if you were to draw a circle, if you just stop and draw a circle and you put a dot anywhere in that circle represents every life experience that you have had up until this very second. That dot, that's you. If you're going to be successful, you have to come outside of that circle. And it's not comfortable. Growth is where we grow. Growth is not comfortable. It's the struggles and the trials where we learn. That's how we sharpen our survival skills. So whatever you're fearful of, the fear of failure, okay, we've looked at that. And some people even fear being successful because they understand being successful means some people are not going to like me. Some people that I hold close may be envious of me. I may lose my best friend. You have to be willing to take the risks that go along with being your successful self. You can't let anything stop you. I am here to tell you, it is very possible, it is always possible that when you become successful, your whole network changes. Your whole life changes. And that's okay because you get comfortable in being around like people who support you and support your success. I tell my students every time I start class, I say, look at who's in your circle now and know that your circle will change as your success changes. It will change. And it won't be anything that you've done, but be successful. When you are a successful person, people who have not reached their success or who are not even trying to be successful look at you and realize how much time they're wasting. They're not happy with that. And so their job is to make you feel bad about your success, to say negative things and innuendos and all kind of craziness. You have to toughen up and be ready for success. Like you have to really find people who support your success because some people that are your friends before you become successful will change. They will change on you. And you'll say, but we were lifetime friends. It doesn't matter whether you just met them or whether you've known them for years. When you become successful, your network, your circle changes. Changes. And sometimes not in a good way. But you have to be committed to yourself and committed to the process and married to the fact that you are born to be successful. That fear that you feel is to keep you safe. It's not a bad thing. Your fear is not a bad thing. It keeps us safe. But you have to understand what is fear that's keeping us safe and what is fear that's keeping us paralyzed. You have to determine, okay, is this fear trying to keep me safe? Or is this fear trying to keep me stuck? You have to analyze it. And then you have to make the decision, am I going to go ahead and do this and be a risk taker? Because being a business owner does require that you be a risk taker. So you have to think, okay, am I going to go out on a limb and take the risk? Or am I going to let this fear keep me paralyzed where this dream stays in my head and never in my life? You know, they say the richest places on earth are the cemeteries because people die with their dreams inside of them that they never realized because fear kept them paralyzed. Fear wouldn't allow them to go there. I hope that you will use these 5 proven strategies to move forward. I'll go back through them just in case you're just joining us. Reframe your goals and how you think about your goals. Go ahead and uncover your story. Ask yourself the 3 powerful questions, and surrender to the fear, right? Visualize your obstacles is the second one, and I forgot to say that one. But go back through this in the replay. If you go back through this in the replay and you find that one of these things apply to you, then use them. These are strategies that are proven to help people move past their fears. I want you to be successful. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug. And so I came on tonight to talk to you about bartering because I want to make sure my community knows about bartering. And also I came to talk to you about fear. Over the next few weeks, we will be talking about procrastination, about staying afloat, right? About finding your customers. And we're going to talk about the lack of funding. These are the 5 things that my community say that is holding them back from their success. And as the business plug, I want to plug you into your movement. The only thing that cures fear is action. So you have to move past your fear. Move while you're scared. It's okay to be scared. Fear keeps us safe. So it's okay to want to be safe. But I want you to move past your fear and to jump out there anyway. Get started. Like my girlfriend today, order your business cards. Get your logo. Fiverr. So I told her she's a startup, right? So if you're a startup and you want to empower yourself, go to fiverr.com. Find somebody that has no less than 98% as their rating and get them to make you some business cards. They'll do your logo, they'll do whatever you want, and get them to make you a business card that you can duplicate and print. If you're a small business owner, action is the thing that cures fear. Thank you for joining me tonight. You all have a great one. I just plugged you in to bartering and how to get past your fear. Have a great day.